Hey, welcome everybody to Andromeda 7, your celestial gateway, your channel for community support, help, friendship, love, knowledge, and just plain being of value to others. Welcome back. If you're returning, you've been in here before. Hey, we are so pleased to have you guys come in and spend some time with us. And wanted to apologize for last week. Wasn't feeling my best, so couldn't give it my all. So we had to wait till this week, but something tells me tonight's going to be a really good night for this. So we're all really jazzed and ready to go. So you know what time it is. It's Friday night. It's time to feed your mind and grow your heart. And that's what we're going to do. So tonight we're going to go ahead and do things a little bit differently. We thought, and looks like the panel agreed, you can pick who you want your reading from tonight. So would you please ask your question and the person you would like a reading from in the chat, just as you see it at the bottom there in capital letters, so I can spot your question and we can get right to it. And what I wanted to say tonight first is we have a subscriber and someone that watches the channel, SG. I want to address this question really quick. So he says, I'm not sure. I got the feeling it was a feminine energy, but I could be wrong. Hello, every time I try to leave a question for a reading, it doesn't go through. So I will try and ask now. When did I lose my power and passion for living? It feels so hard for me to make a change. Change isn't easy for anyone, and the more routine you have in your life, the harder it is to change. So I would say start with baby steps and change something in your routine. That's the best thing you can do to get the ball rolling. If you drive the same way to work every single day, or you're eating the same food, switch things up a little bit and just do subtle little things. If you watch TV, turn your TV off for a few hours and sit with yourself. Really start to get to know who you are and kind of go within yourself. I would also suggest that you look up a word that is pronounced anthroposophy. Look up that word, anthroposophy, and look into Rudolf Steiner. That would be a great start for you to start making the changes, positive changes you would like to see. And the other thing is just be honest with yourself. That's really important. Be honest with your feelings, how you're feeling. You do the self-talk in your head and address whatever's going on with you. But wanted to make sure you were the first person that got any kind of attention and got your question answered. I hope it helps. If there's anything more, let us know. Andromeda7@gmail.com. Okay? Also, I would like to say hello to people in chat. Hello, Scotty Boy. What's happening? Scotty Boy has asked the universe a question and he's going to be patiently waiting for an answer. And Teresa is going to take care of your question tonight, and that'll be great. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Mike. Good to see you. It's wonderful to have you here. Hi, Truth Seeker. So much love for you. I know everything is going well with your family, your son, and things are working out for you. And I'm feeling that very strongly. So good, good, good. Let's see who else we have in the chat. Dolly Belfour. Hello, sweet Dolly. It's good to have you with us. Thank you for being here. Let's see. We've got Lucky Stone. Lucky Stone, such a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you. Enjoying your videos. I love the variety that you have. That accident was pretty trippy that was going on for you. That I think it was last week. So very interesting. Let's see. Who else do we have? I think that is it for the moment. Oh, Barry Chad. Hey, what's going on, Elderberry? Squirrel Buddy's in the house. Good to have you with us. Awesome. True Seeker, your dad is very, very proud of you. He is really loving the way you handled that situation. Wanted to pop in and let you know that really quick. I'm getting the chills. He's a very polite man, very polite and sweet. All right. Well, Teresa, how was your week? Did you have a good week? Missed you last week. Uh, I think you are on mute, my dear.
I don't know how that happened, but I had a great week. I really missed seeing all of you last Friday, but it was a great weekend of reflection, a
Mm-hmm.
quiet time for me, and I got a lot done here around the house. Spring popped up and transformation was underway. My garden's taken off like you wouldn't believe.
Oh,
So I've
nice.
actually got some sprouted plants already, and I got some tomato coming up. So it's really,
Wonderful.
really been great, really great. And
Good, good.
I do want to say hello and thank you to those folks who asked me to friend them in Facebook. I got about 6 or 7 in the past, I don't know, week or so of folks that are
Excellent.
following the postings that I do as updates for Andromeda, and also following us on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Couple
Wonderful.
newbies from
Yeah.
Instagram, couple
Oh, good.
Instagram followers
Welcome.
too.
It's
So
good to have anyone that
welcome
wants to be
everyone.
here and spend time with us. That's
Yeah,
great. How
and
about
even
you,
if you're not
Sophia?
catching us live, we appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sophia, did you have a good week?
Indeed, I did.
I
I
like your
am.
hat,
Thanks.
but you're missing your broom.
It's over there. Not miss.
She's sitting
I
on it.
love
You
that.
just can't see it.
You know
Yeah.
what's funny is my sister and I are playing a game called Hogwarts on Xbox. Absolutely love this game. We're flying around on a broom all the time. It's so much fun, but what a
Indeed.
great game to play. Awesome. Dalibor, how are you, my friend? Good to see
Oh,
you.
pretty good. I mean,
Yeah?
I can't say I've been doing any gardening or
Mm-hmm.
growing my own food or anything like that because last time I tried growing my food, I did it for 3 whole days and I got nowhere.
Wow. 3
Three
days you
days,
gave it,
yeah.
huh?
So my argument would be, had I devoted 10 times as much effort, it would have
Uh-huh.
been just as useless.
Tell
Yeah.
us how you really feel.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. How about you, Grandpa Brian? Did you have a great week? And remember, he has a delay.
I did. And I'm about ready to plant tomorrow. I think right close to about 250, 300 plants
Ooh,
of
wonderful.
cauliflower,
Wow. You're
broccoli,
not.
Brussels sprouts, cabbage.
Nice.
Wow,
So
that's
my garden's
great.
getting ready to really start popping.
What do you do with the extra food? Because I know you're going to have a lot of extra.
I have a pretty big family.
That
Planning
helps.
on, I'll probably can about 400 to 500 jars. And I'm not sure how much I'll vacuum seal and freeze, but
Mm-hmm.
none of it'll go to waste.
That's good. That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you, we've got our first question, and Teresa, I'm going to go ahead and let you handle that. Scotty Boy says, laid my question out to the universe all day, curious what she has to say. Yep, I feel the universe's energy is leaning more on the feminine side. What you got for Scotty Boy there, Teresa?
Well, let's see. Universe's energy is leaning more on the feminine side. Actually, that's pretty much it these days at this point in time in our present condition. Um, there's that balancing coming in, so you're feeling more of that feminine energy coming in, Scotty. And I had pulled something, Wisdom of the Divine Feminine, and I looked it up while Lori was talking. And so it says, when the wisdom of the divine feminine reaches for you, the message is clear. You're in a process of becoming more of heaven on earth, more of the higher consciousness coming down to earth and meeting and tuning into that frequency. Sometimes there's growing pains alongside the joy of such growth. You may feel concerned or thinking your pain or challenges are an indication that you're failing in some way, but you're not, or you might judge your suffering or uncomfort or discomfort as a sign that you're not operating at a high enough frequency. And I would say with you, Scotty, every time I see you and every time you've been through something or talk about something, you're always very positive outlook and you use that humor that you have. So but yeah, you're connecting to the feminine vibration that's going on because we're in the middle of this shift that has just occurred. And so we're now on an ascending path. And so you're going to start feeling that tug and pull because the feminine's going to try to pull you back in. Because the feminine is moon energy and that pulls you into the matter, whereas your masculine side is what's going to bring you out of that. And so you're feeling the push and pull between the masculine and the feminine energies. We all are. I feel more of the masculine pulling me out, and I like that because it brings me into a balance so that I can ascend with my thoughts, my consciousness, not physically, but with my consciousness. So that's probably why you're feeling more of that feminine pull, because it's trying to pull you back into all the crap that's going on around you, and you know how to deal with it. So just keep your faith and keep your trust in it, and relax in that energy, because it's not out to harm you, but it is a pull. You just have to recognize it for what it is, and just keep your thoughts tuned in on a higher frequency, and you'll be fine.
The universe loves how you use your humor to diffuse situations, but it's not always called for in every situation. So it wants you to be a little bit more authentic with yourself and don't lean on the humor as much. So nothing wrong with humor. It's great and I love it and I enjoy it. It makes everybody smile, but they don't want you to lean on it as much as you have been. So try to address how you're actually feeling instead of a joke. That's what I'm getting for you, Scotty boy. So take it if it resonates. If it doesn't, throw it out with the bathwater. Anywho, so yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can pick who you'd like to answer your question. And you know what? I like to take advantage of this time because I'm not seeing other questions. So, Sophia, I love to come to you and say, what you got for me, girl?
All right, we are unmuted. Awesome.
Okay.
Let's see. A lot of joy guide energy stepping forward. Eric, and then there's a younger, like female, like fairy energy around, very happy, very joyful, like doing things on purpose to provoke laughter. I love
Helena.
that.
That's Helena.
She's just iridescent. If you could think of like the most whitest of white, make it clear, and then put every color you can think of, the brightest. I love it. She's swirling. So that's nice. I just got a new joy guide too. So yeah,
Nice.
It's fun. It is.
Yeah, I was told I need to have a little bit more fun and joy in my life, not to take life so serious. So that's interesting that you're picking up on that energy because, yeah, I was going through that this morning.
That's good.
Yeah, a little sat in the sun and just kind of soaked up the sun and just took in what the universe said. And you're absolutely spot on with that. So thank you, Sophia. Yeah.
You're welcome. Blessings.
Looks like Lucky Stone has a question. You should ask for all caps for questions. Separate from chat. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's why we wanted to do. Okay. Let's see. Are you seeing
Truth Seeker has one. Yeah, right there.
Where is it? Where? Oh, right thank you. All right. Got it.
Got it.
I'll take care of that.
Okay.
All right. Does the universe have a message for me regarding the past few weeks and how things will be coming the months and year ahead? Truth Seeker, Teresa and I both know we're a little bit more connected than most people on the panel are. So I think between the two of us, this would be a good thing to answer for you. I had to be careful the way we responded to that email because it was in writing. But since we're on the show and I can kind of speak freely, Eric wanted you to know that he was looking after your son. He was concerned about the The chemical cocktail, he called it, that your son was taking, he didn't feel that it was the proper medication. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a doctor and that you should not take certain medication, but he was concerned about the right dosage and the medication that would work best for him. It looks to me, and what I'm getting gut feeling wise and my intuitive feeling about it, is things are going to level out a bit for you. But you have a soul agreement with your son and your family for this. And so there is more to come, but it's how you're going to deal with it and how you're going to handle the situation. And so do it with truth, honesty, and love in your heart, and you cannot fail with this. So be the strong, loving mom that you are, and show your family that you're there for them, and you will get through anything that gets tossed at you. So just know that you're being supported by Eric, the universe, your guides, your father, your family, and that you have a lot of love and support around you. So please keep that in your mind and try not to worry so much. Worrying's not going to change anything. They want you to just not worry as much as you have been, because that makes it difficult on everyone. Yeah. Okay? I hope that helps, Truth Seeker. I have so much love and respect for you and your family, and I feel the connection with Eric and you as well. So know that Eric is helping because you have asked for his help, and he is looking out after your son. So know that you are fully supported, and you need to know that. Hope that helps. Elderberry has a question. Will I finish with this house sell the other house and finally be able to relax?
No.
Teresa?
No.
How about you, Delabor? He did. You guys are not asking specifics, so we're just whoever can pick up that energy.
I'm selling a house too.
There you go.
I'm selling a house too, so I can tell you one thing. After you sell your house, that's the beginning of your problems. That's no, that's usually not when they end. So when will your house sell? If that's your question, it's gonna sell when the time is right, and it could be 2 minutes from now, or it could be 2 weeks from now, or 2 months from now.
It'll happen.
You're not cutting corners.
Yeah. It's going to happen out of nowhere. When you think all is lost and nothing's going to change, that's when it happens, Elderberry. It's going to come out of nowhere, and you're going to be really shocked and surprised at how it comes down, and you're going to be happy about it.
Yes, see, I'm not cutting corners either. I mean, I went all out. I did everything you could possibly imagine, leaving no stone unturned. And it's just that there's a dip in the market right now. Prices are up by 9%. That's like the global inflation rate. But demand for houses is down by 5%, which means that prices are going down by 5% as well. So that's kind of a paradoxical situation, because usually when you have inflation, you have an increase in house prices. But because of the global interest rate increase, you're seeing less people qualifying for home mortgages. So,
divine timing.
Yeah, and it also helps to listen to what your buyers are saying. Like usually they'll mention it in the first. Selling a house, buying a house, that is also yes, it is stressful. Yeah, it always has been, at least for me, and it's never like it's never easy. No.
Yeah. Anybody else getting anything for Barry, Brother Barry?
Yeah.
I am getting
the
be
10
patient.
of Wands.
Oh, good. You pulled a card. Good.
Which is celebration, which means it's going to happen, and you're going to get what you want for this house.
Yeah.
It's a very positive card for you wanting to sell that house.
Absolutely. It's just getting the right buyer, and the timing is, and you just can't sell your house fast enough. I know that feeling, but when it happens, it'll happen, and it'll be divinely planned happening for you.
You know what I was going to add there, Barry, is it's like you have multiple activities, and you're dealing with your planting and your chickens and your day-to-day everything, and then there's this house piece that's been kind of hanging out there for a while, because I know you've been thinking about selling it. And the day that you sit down and start actually writing down what you want and finding a realtor that you want to work with, or someone that you want to work with on it, it could be a relative or a friend. The minute you start writing it down and putting it into action is when it will happen.
That's right.
But you can be thinking about it, but not doing anything. So to answer your own question, it'll happen when you're ready to make it happen, if that makes any sense. Otherwise, it's just going to be a thought that's out there. Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? When? The when is when you start putting it into action. And it doesn't take much. A phone call or two gets the ball rolling. So.
Ray's got a question. Hi, Ray. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. What messages should I hear about my dream of owning a healing community cabin? I'm getting the draw for you, Grandpa Brian. And how do I own and embrace, express my divine feminine? Also, hear any random messages in the highest good. Anybody picking up for Ray?
I feel like Sophia.
Hi. Yeah. The Fool card and the Chariot. So with both of these being major arcana, this is like a soul urge. It's like it's like needing, like having a vacuum, because that doesn't exist. That's how hard this pull on your heart to fulfill this ambition. These are excellent cards, conducive to the direction, moving forward, letting go what no longer serves you. That's the Fool card right there. And you're already in this process, but still early, very early in the game. But with the Chariot, you're balancing, the wills, because you have the different colored horses. So that's balancing and moving forward, and it's part of your journey. So it's very positive, forward energy. It's the right time of year to pursue something like that. I'm a fan. Go for it. Kind of like what Teresa was saying, write it down and burn it, in a safe place outside. Disclaimer. But prayer urns are very powerful. And like Teresa says, when you take it from a thought and turn it into an action, that's facilitating, the energy to move forward, to manifest what you want. I'm a fan.
Awesome.
Go for it. Yeah.
I just want to clarify this for you, Truth Seeker. The chem cocktail I was talking about was whatever he was being given before was not good for him. What he's got going on now is a much better deal. So that's the difference. So he's on the right track. You're on track, and everything is looking really good for you. Okay, so not to worry. That's why he had the episode he had. And that's why he needed to go in, was to figure out how to make it better for him. So you've done that for him. So feel good about it. Okay. Anybody else have a question? Now's your chance. You got, 5 people up here tapped into spirit.
I'm asking Robert, because we always seem to miss Robert. He usually comes in and then he has to leave, and so I just put it out there to ask him if he wanted a reading.
Awesome.
Oh, good, Barry. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, while people are thinking about their questions, I have a brief story that I shared with Lori from what happened at the nursery a couple of days ago. There you go, Robert. Just put your question in there, Robert. Or if you want a card pulled, just say who you want. I'll pull a card for you. Yeah, I've been tapping in a lot lately, and it's been coming to me. And I ran into this man. I went up to the florist or the nursery up the hill here to get some starter plants. And there was this elderly man. I think he was in his, I hate to use the word elderly, but he was advanced in his years. He was probably in his early 80s. But he was standing by all these plants and he was crying. It was just the two of us because it was the middle of the day and everybody's at school and at work. And so I just felt bad for him. I didn't know why he was crying. So I went over and asked him, I said, "Are you okay?" And he turned around and he's like, "I'm just so totally lost in here. I don't know what I'm doing. I just lost my wife last year. And I've inherited this garden that she used to take care of all the time. And I don't know what to do with it, but I don't want to let it go because it was so much a part of who she was. And I haven't got a clue as to what plant goes with what plant. I should have paid more attention. But it always looks so beautiful, and I just don't want to let it go." I said, "I'm so sorry to hear about that. There's planning guides you can get online. There's all kinds of things you could do to plan out a garden." And he said, "I'll show you some pictures." So he showed me some pictures on his phone because he brought him up to the nursery to show the guy inside. And I said, "Oh, that's a nice space. It's a shade garden. It's partly sun and partly shade." He goes, "Yeah." And he says, "I was thinking of maybe I'd put her photograph in there, put a framed photograph of her and put some little flowers around." And I said, "I'll tell you, what I'm getting here from her is that she had a love of animals, and birds were her favorite. In fact, the cardinal was her very favorite bird." He goes, "How the hell would you possibly know that?" I said, "It's just coming through." I said, "So why not put some hostas in there?" And I gave him some ideas on some plants and showed him some pictures on the phone of the kind of plants he could mix in there. And there's some statuary up top. We could go look up there and see if they have any birds. You could put a couple bird statues in there because that's what she loved. And even add a bird feeder. By the time we got finished, he spent $550 on starter plants and these statues. We bought a water fountain with birds on it. And we found a couple cardinal statues and a birdhouse. They put a bird feeder in there and bought some bird seed for it too. So we loaded up his car and he put his arms around me. He's a stranger. I mean, I'm not used to having strangers put their arms around me, but I let him because he was just so full of love. And he said, I wasn't really, I said, I'm surprised. Thinking to myself, I'm surprised he's not blown away or thinks I'm weird. And he's like, my wife was very tapped in spiritually. I never was. So I have no doubt that everything you've just told me is 100% truth because she was tapped in and she knows you are apparently, and she knew I was suffering. And now I just feel so much better about it. He said, "Thank you for opening up my heart and helping me to connect again with my wife." I said, "She says to tell you she will talk to you anytime you want. The best time to do it when you're out there in that garden."
Yeah, and they hear your
just
thoughts.
Like I did with Brian Barnett. Yeah, just go out in that garden and they hear your thoughts, and she'll come to you and she'll tell you how to do it, and she'll tell you what you need. She'll tell you, because I had trouble with my garden, and Brian Barnett came in and told me how to fix it, and it worked. His fix worked. And then Mary Chad. Yeah, I had help from the community.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a nice story because not to promote me, to show the connection, how it comes sometimes in some strange ways. I had a
how it serves you
today, a telephone call that had nothing to do with any of this, and something came through for Jeannie Griffin.
That's great.
So it just comes sometimes. Go ahead, Lori.
It's good that you're trusting it more and more because you in the past have had a little bit of a issue with trusting your gut and your intuition. So it's good to see that you're doing it now, and you're out in public and doing that as well. That's pretty incredible. So great story. I'm sure you helped Jeannie out a lot too, and gave her some healing. Ray has one question here. What are my ancestors wanting to say to me? Anybody picking up on Ray?
Just, and for her specifically, it's I resonate with ancestor energy a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Picking up energy. I'm imagining Ray sitting in front of me now. That's how I associate energy with ancestors. But
I
her
love that.
left, yeah, her
That's
left
cool.
side
Mm-hmm.
is firing up. So that would be female, like grandma and great aunt energy, because they're back to back, because there's rings. Like, so here, this would be like mom area for me, and then a little bit out would be like grandmother energy,
Mm-hmm.
and then back is like sister of. So let's see,
I'm
they're
getting something.
referencing clothing.
Mm-hmm.
um
Yep. Well, if anything, they want to convey the fact that they are always with you.
right, for
That
sure.
they're always with you. They're always thinking about you. That sort of thing. Uh, they won't leave you.
Mm-hmm. They kind of want you to relax a little bit. You're taking things a little too seriously, and they want you to kind of back off a little bit, especially on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, and allow yourself to make a mistake here and there. It's okay to do that as long as you're learning from the mistake and you don't keep repeating them. But they really think you need to. I'm trying to think of the word a better way. I don't. Okay. Yeah. You need to chill out on yourself a little bit. That you're too hard on yourself, and they want you to give yourself a little bit more leeway. Don't just let go a little bit. You really hold on tight to things, and they want you to just let go and treat yourself a little bit better. That's all I'm getting. Hope it helps. If it doesn't, toss it out.
Sophia, can we
Uh,
give out your email address?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to type it. I'm going to type your email address in here for Scotty. Okay.
right on.
um, Milky Way. Robert says, pull a card, Lori, and I have pulled a card for you.
He's
That's
bomb.
awesome. Yeah. So I love these Kyle Gray Angels and Ancestors Oracle. And Grandpa Brian gifted me this deck. It's one of my favorites. So I'm going to read out of this one for you. You got the Medicine Mother. Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing. Ray, this kind of is in line for you as well. Take action. Do what you know you need to do. Mother always knows best, they say. And it's true. We all know a maternal figure who's extremely intuitive and insightful. And this medicine mother has gone through many ups and downs. She has lived and she has lost. She knows what it's like to suffer and to want to give up. So the medicine of this card is it's okay to make mistakes and get it wrong sometimes. And it's okay for things to come to an end. It's not the end of the world. It's just the end of one chapter and the beginning of something new. The medicine mother reminds you that even though you will have low lows, you aren't here to suffer. You're here to be supported and to support others, and let her give you the loving encouragement to take the next step forward. So maybe let go of some of the old patterns that are going on and drop those like a hot rock and create something new. But Ray, this is for you as well. And Robert V, thanks for asking for a card. Hope that helps.
I got a card for Chloe.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. The first thing that came out was the Nine of Wands. This is very black and white. It's the aversion deck. It's very simple, but the symbolism behind the Nine of Wands is someone who has warrior energy, someone who is going to stand up for what they believe in. They're willing to, if they have to, separate themselves from people that are toxic to themselves. Um, and necessary, especially when you're growing and ascending and metamorphosing on an energetic level the way you are, standing your ground, because you've done it before, but no one says we have to like it. And the reason that I say, as far as the values part of it goes, is we have the Queen of Pentacles that comes out behind it. So the Queen would be receptive energy, okay, nurturing energy. The Pentacles means money, of course, but it also means values. So I would say part of the Nine of Wands energy, it can feel like a struggle, but you have high morals and high values, and you expect people around you to be similar in that regard. I think that's an excellent way to approach what you're dealing with. Keep going, girlfriend. Keep going. It's going to get better. Like attracts like. If you set higher standards for yourself, then people with higher standards will come to you, and that's what you want. But the hallway's the bitch, not the doors. So, right on, girl. Love you.
Awesome. Kelly Boyles has a question. May I have a card, please? Grandpa Brian, would you like to pull a card for Kelly Boyles?
Sure.
Okay, and Delabor's got one. Go ahead, Delabor. You can both pull one.
Zero.
Zero.
That's what is zero?
Zero to hero.
Zero is the starting point. It's the 0 point. It's the origin.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, try to get to the bottom of things. What is the origin of whatever situation? What brought it about? That sort of question.
Gotcha.
I like it.
Very cool.
How about you, GB?
So
What'd
I
you
pulled
get?
Two of Pentacles and 10 of Wands.
Okay.
You've been juggling a few things. And some of the things that you might have been juggling has to do with a battle that you've been through. You're worn out, you're tired, but you are victorious. Even though you are carrying them wands and it is a struggle, you are victorious because it's an end. It's an end to whatever conflict that has been going on. Just
so it's coming to a head.
Find
Is
that
what
balance.
Okay.
Yes, it's coming to a head. And once it comes to a head, you'll find the balance that you need to go on in your life.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's work, family, whatever your endeavor, you just need to find that balance. The conflict is over. Even though you're tired and worn out from it and you're walking away, you're still victorious because it's an end.
Nice. Great. That's a good couple of cards. That's great. She says, both you are right on. Thank you so much. That's great. Good. Thank you. All right. Any more questions? Boy,
It's spring. It's Friday.
uh-huh.
People are out buzzing the bees.
It's still not warm enough to be hanging outside.
Yeah. It's on again, off again here. It's really beautiful, sunny, and then it's like 60, 77 degrees the other day, and then 51, 56, 57 today. It's crazy. Yeah, things are just kind of nuts.
I have a question for Dalibor.
Still not t-shirt weather. Sure.
Yeah, go for it, Teresa.
Sure.
Dalibor, my brother, he keeps having all kinds of accidents. No sooner do we pay for a repair, he goes out and hits something or something backs into him. It's like a domino effect, and it's every month. It seems every 3 to 4 weeks. Just as we get stabilized from spending the money on one repair, we end up having to do another repair. Is he ever going to get through this? Is he ever going to break this cycle? What do you see in the cards for him?
It's interesting because he seems to be attracting negative energy because he's concentrating on something that's keeping him down. He's not on the up and up. He's
Ah, uh-huh.
he's focusing on crap. That's why.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love that dude.
he's not he's not really addressing anything important or anything positive, and instead he's just focusing on negative, stupid little details, and the more
You're
you
so
free
right.
yourself of that, yeah, the more you free yourself of that tendency to obsess over little things like I ordered something at some place and they screwed it up or whatever. These are trivial things. You got to rise above them.
No.
You and I talk all the time, and we never talk about my brother. I share that with
Yeah, I
Laurie.
don't.
I don't share that with a whole lot of people. You don't really even know anything about him, but I would
I
say
don't.
you just
Yeah,
nailed that spot on, didn't he, Laurie?
I never met.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I never met him. I don't even know what he looks
Mm-hmm.
like.
And look at Brian. Brian knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like you can't break the cycle
Hmm.
when you're just focusing on everything that's. Oh
Yeah,
no, I'll
because
never get out of here.
in any situation, you have to figure out, like, okay, what are my wants and what are my needs? Okay, what is important and what is not important?
Yeah.
Once you identify your goal, okay, what do I need for that goal and what don't I need to achieve that goal? Like, if I don't know, stupid example, if your goal is to sell a house, is it important to have the best shiniest shoes? No.
Uh-huh.
No, it isn't, because it's irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Well,
does have a
go
lot of
ahead, Lori.
programming. He has a lot of programming, and it's very difficult for him to let go of that. So some people, and I've made this analogy before, wear that energy like a warm blanket because it's very familiar and it's hard to change and pull yourself out of those routines and programs that keep you stuck.
Yep.
And
Hmm.
so you got to want to change that. And the only one that can do it is you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's various techniques you can use to move things along, like the other person before was talking about selling a house. I'm selling a house, and there's various techniques that you could use to make that happen. But the question is, how much do you really want to interfere in the course of events?
There it
you know
is. Ding, ding, ding.
because
Mm-hmm.
that's like the whole butterfly effect,
Hmm.
Hmm.
where by making this one thing happen, you might be missing out on something else that should happen in between that, and that's
Putting
That's
that
for
crucial.
sure.
resistance, yeah, that resistance out there doesn't help.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly.
Hmm. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Digging it.
So, yeah, try to see a positive outcome. And that's difficult for people because you have to train your mind. It's like a muscle. You can't just keep allowing the same things to scroll through your brain. You have to make those changes, and you have to catch yourself at it too. And the ego is like a barking dog. It just barks at you all day, and you got to tell it to shut up, sit
Indeed.
down, take note. I'm in charge. You're not. So,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Welcome, Mary Mansfield. Good to see you.
Yeah,
If you have a
good to see you,
question,
Mary.
Yeah.
just type it all in caps. And if you have a particular person you want to have a reading from, just say it
We're just
in
doing
caps.
some free readings tonight. It's very casual.
Yep.
Just seeing what everybody's up to, spending some time with you. It is Friday night, and if you've got any questions or you want to know
See,
anything,
I'm getting, like, intermittently, I'm getting bits and snippets of, like, the future or about a potential future, and I keep getting it kind of intensely for the past couple of weeks. And I mentioned
That's
one of
right.
them, which I shouldn't have,
Mm-hmm.
and it pertains to a negative outcome for the president of the United States.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
yeah.
what? Say that again.
A
Did I
negative
hear?
outcome, a negative outcome for the
Uh,
president of the United States.
hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, things
The
aren't
current
really rolling
setting
his way.
president. Yeah. He doesn't look like he's got his faculties all together. It looks like he's struggling with that. So I think it's pretty obvious to a lot of people, but wishing him the best.
Well, I think things what I've been getting, and Karen, I talked to Karen about it. We've both been getting downloads on this. Is that we're moving out of this. The United States right now is being looked at very critically all over the world as the new corrupt
Evil empire.
And there's been so many statements from so many high-level government and non-government officials from different countries condemning us for our looseness and our lack of control.
I am going to stop you guys right here because I do not want to get into politics. I said way more than I wanted to, and I'm going to just ask that we don't speak about politics. Please, and thank you. Mary Mansfield, could I get a card from Grandpa Brian, please?
Cool.
Did you catch that, Brian?
Hey, Brian, Mary Mansfield wants you to pull a card.
You're up.
So, Mary, I pulled for you Temperance and the Ace of Cups. Be patient. This is you standing in your truth. Just Temperance is also about patience. Ace of Cups, new beginning, prosperity. It could be a new love coming into your life.
Wow.
So, two very good cards here. But just be patient, stand in your truth. New beginnings. Could be love, could be a few different things. But there's going to be a new beginning. Some sort. Could be a new friendship relationship, because cups do have to do with relationships. So you could be a new friend or anything, but something new is going to come. Just be patient.
Awesome.
Cool.
Very good.
That's always nice to know.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
I should point out that some of the best friendships you can have are with animals.
Ooh,
The animal kingdom.
yes, especially rabbits.
Especially rabbits, yeah.
They're so smart.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Except not if you're doing a garden.
They do love their lettuce and carrots, don't they?
Yes, they do. They love anything that's green, pretty much.
Yeah. Yep. How do you, because I know you've had pet rabbits, how do you potty train the pet rabbit? How is that done?
It's simple and brutal.
Well, you want to go outside? You ready to go?
You have to go get the door.
It's simple and brutal. You keep him inside a cage for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and you don't let him out.
There you go, Delbert. Follow the carrot, honey.
No, he gets used to like doing it in the same place over and over again. And then I had the type of cage that was dismantleable. And so I kept that indoors, of course. And he would always have to go in there to like eat and do his thing. So gradually, as he got used to living on an entire floor of the house, I just took the top part of the cage off. So it was just the plastic bottom part, and that had like bedding, the stuff that would normally be in there, his bowl for water, his food, and he would also do his bathroom things in there. He got used to it that way, and it never changed. Every once in a while, he would leave some, M&Ms around the place, but that's about it.
It's not chocolate. Don't eat those.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like a regular thing.
Yeah.
So he got used to just going in that one spot, and if I moved it around, he would just go to that one spot. It's not like you couldn't move it. Yeah,
Wow,
you
that's
could just,
interesting.
yeah.
I had a friend who had a rabbit, a pet rabbit, and he used a kitty litter box.
Sure, that's what I was using basically, but it was like for
Oh,
rabbits. It was a rabbit cage, but with the top part that you could take off.
wow. Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. Huh. It makes things that make you go, hmm.
Hmm. And of course, you have to rabbit proof the whole house to make sure that all the wires going to your computer, stereo system, that sort of thing, that's out of reach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They like to
Yeah.
chew on those wires. No doubt
Hmm.
about that.
Put them
Hi, Jackie
inside
J. Yep.
conduits or behind bookcases, or at such a height and in such a place that he won't get to it. That's all.
Are they lovey to you, or do they like to cuddle?
Oh, big time, yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I would be falling asleep, he would crawl into bed with me. And although I really liked that,
Mhm.
I kind of discouraged him from doing that because I was afraid of smothering him in my sleep.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I would be afraid of that too. Yeah. I wouldn't want to
Hmm.
roll over the poor guy. And
So I'd encourage him to sleep next to my bed where I could keep my hand on top of him
uh,
while I was falling asleep, and just like
uh-huh.
holding him, and
That's
he
so
enjoyed
cute.
that as well.
That's so
Yeah.
cute. If you're just joining us, we're doing some free readings tonight. We're just kind of filling in a little bit of time here, waiting for a question. Hi, Jackie J. If you got a question, sock it to us. We'll be happy to answer that for you.
I don't know if it's a question or more of an observation, but
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten so used to calling in my guides when I am confused or upset about something,
Uh-huh.
or I'm worried about something, or I can't get a hold of you, or I can't get a hold of somebody else, and I just want that immediate,
Mm-hmm.
reassurance,
Bounce it off of
but
someone.
or bounce it off of someone. But
Mm-hmm.
a friend of mine asked me a couple of days ago if it isn't just that isn't. She was asking about, she doesn't pray, she doesn't meditate,
Mm-hmm.
but she has seen me out in my garden, just sitting there and with my eyes closed and taking it in. And she
Mm-hmm.
said, "Isn't worrying about something the same as prayer? Because if you are connected the way you say you are to this energy, to source, and to higher realms and higher guides, different
Mm-hmm.
aspects of self, isn't just worrying about something or saying, I really don't, do they answer you then too?" And I'm like, I think so. Because I've been in that situation before, not knowing what to say, not feeling like
Mm-hmm.
praying or meditating, but it's on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and an answer will come to me whether I've asked for it or not. Isn't that a way of them reaching out, of higher aspects of ourselves reaching out to us, because they're always with us, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
always connected. We just don't always turn the switch
Hmm.
on or tune in the
Yeah.
frequency. What do you
Sophia's
guys
got
think
a
about that? Go ahead,
yeah.
Sophia.
Sophia's got.
Frequency. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
frequent. Okay, so worry. Okay, so we all know thoughts are things. $5 for every time I busted off with that. So if you're going to put thought towards something instead of worry, be more of hopeful. Because if you want to attract a good outcome, then the thought patterns need to be of a higher level. Because a lot of time, at least from what I've experienced, I don't worry a whole lot. But it tends to be like worst case scenario. And if thoughts are things in your worst case scenario, sometimes it's a negative form of prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's
Good,
prayer,
Steve.
but
Mm-hmm.
It's
it
still,
needs to
yeah.
be hope,
Mm-hmm.
a higher frequency, to be
Higher
Well, I
effective.
read
frequency is
this.
positive.
It's a mind parasite. Worry is a mind parasite,
Ooh, I
and
like
as
that.
I
such,
like that too.
which is
Hmm.
similar to the definition that you would give to a demon, right?
Fair.
So it's not really good. I've placed myself in a position where I don't worry about anything. A lot of people worry about this, about finance or whatever, or oh, I didn't pay the electrical bill. I'm like, okay, what's the worst that could happen? Is
Yeah.
it going to be like guys with machine guns coming here and shooting me? No. The worst that can
Right.
happen is they'll shut my electricity off. Has this
Yeah.
ever happened to me
Yeah.
before? Yes, it
Yeah.
has. Oh, many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
the the information.
Well said.
What do you think about this? The information, if they're answering you, if you've got something in your back of your mind, you're not speaking it out in prayer or intent or meditation, but they just know you've got something on your mind. The information might come through a song, a phrase, a feeling, a color, a symbol that unlocks awareness in the deeper recesses of your mind and body. Try to remember that orbs are always around us, but appear in more concentrated form, both in quantity and quality, in certain places and at certain times, including when your energy, like you were saying, frequency and energy, Sophia, is in a particularly soft and receptive high frequency state. Orbs will naturally gravitate towards high energy. So
I
if
get
you're in
that a
this low
lot.
energy, yeah.
I get that a lot, especially you mentioned about like getting a song stuck in your head for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Like,
call that an
you know,
earworm.
yeah, you know what
Yeah.
happened to me 2 days ago? I dozed off at my computer right here where you see me.
Yeah.
I dozed off for like 5 minutes, and I woke up, and for some reason, I had this song in my head that I hadn't heard in like 50 years, literally 50 years, and it
Uh-huh.
was by the Limelighters. Move over.
I love the
M-
Limelighters.
yeah,
Oh
move
my
over
God, you
for
know the
Marty.
Limelighters?
Yes, I do.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna look your
Move
age,
over for
man. Not at all.
move over, and wing like a giggity gig. Move over, because Marty is not very big. And I had to look it up. I was like, okay, like what's that all
Yeah.
about? And I found this creepy video where somebody like put their personal photos up with that song, and I was like, oh my God, all these people look so familiar. But it's
Hmm.
almost like I knew them from like a previous life, or like maybe a not necessarily a past life, but a parallel life that I've been living all this time in like a
Hmm.
different place in a different
Legit.
time,
Uh-huh.
different body, you know? It's like you're,
Wow.
I don't know
Different
what
version? More
different
like a
version
different
of myself.
version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like,
Wow.
I still haven't gotten to the bottom of it. Like, what exactly is the significance of that song, and what made me remember it after like not hearing it for like 50 years?
Wow.
You know, and they also had other hit songs like "Under My Lollipop, 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 Lolly Lolly Lollipop Tree."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's funny.
remember that?
Oh my God, that is so cool that you know
Yeah,
who the Limelighters are.
Limelighters. Yeah,
My
yeah,
mom was big into music, and so I always listened to a lot of the stuff that she did, and old movies too. So I know a lot of the
yeah.
oldie moldies in the movies and
Or like,
classics and things like that. But it's cool to know
yeah.
somebody that lived through that time and that, to hear the
Hmm.
stories and those things. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm into like old show tunes and stuff, or classic tunes or old music in general. I mean,
Hmm.
I have a whole collection of 78s, old
Oh
78s.
wow. Had some
Hmm.
45s,
Yeah,
got
like
some
Ragtime,
LPs. Yep. Yep.
Red Rose
Had
Rag.
some Motown 45s.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
yeah, I've got some of that too. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
what
cool.
interests me is like all this stuff that comes to your mind that you haven't come across
Mm-hmm.
in literally 50 years. It's like, where's this coming from? Why is this
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
coming?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like
There's a message in it for
there's
you,
a
that's for
message in it.
sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things just popping into your head, that's typically
Hmm.
somebody's trying to get your attention, whether it's an ancestor, a guide, your
Hmm.
joy guide, whoever's coming in, somebody wants you to have that message.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Or
Oh,
maybe it
Dolly
was a message
Belfort.
for,
I had to Google them.
or
That's funny.
maybe it's a message for somebody watching this right
It
now.
could very well be. Dolly said she
Validation.
had to Google it. So,
See
Hey,
what I
hmm.
mean?
Dalibor, what was that? Did you ever figure out what that was coming through that dream you had about? You couldn't tell if it was your uncle or someone you knew,
Oh,
but you had this weird dream about it. Could have been
I
about a
have
relative.
I have weird dreams all the time. So which weird dream was it?
Ah,
Yeah.
somebody
hmm.
somebody named, was it Robbie or
Robbie. No, if it was an uncle, it would have been Evil Otto. Because he was kind of like a
yeah.
domineering, controlling figure in my life at one point.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think that sometimes we dream about people from past lives or even
even
current lives
parallel
that we haven't
lives.
seen. Yeah,
Right.
like
Tell it
I had a
no.
dream about a friend from, I don't know, I was 3 or 4 years old. And I had a
Yeah,
dream about
yeah.
this little boy that I used to play with all the time. And I'm like, why did I dream about him? It was so long ago. And it was so, but why do these people that you know from the distant past just pop up in your dreams? You know, it's,
We're
Trying to
all
get your
connected.
attention.
We're
Yeah.
all
yeah,
connected.
Yeah, and they're just reminding you that they are connected.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's
Or
strange.
that, maybe that memory triggered something, or maybe that experience with that person triggered changes in your life that are beginning to show themselves just now.
There you go.
You know what I
Could-
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
could
That
very
that
well
that butterfly flapping its wings in China thing again.
be.
That's more powerful
Dolly, yes,
than
we
people
are,
give
Dolly.
credit.
Yeah.
What happened?
No one
Dolly.
here is that old,
We're all
and
29.
you will be. You will be.
You will be.
Steve, oh, I haven't seen you here before. Thank you. Welcome. You're a tarot
Oh,
reader
he's-
yourself. That's great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
That's great.
Digging it.
pretty sure he's been here before.
I don't remember. There's so many Steves. There's Stevie-O and
Yeah.
Steve
Oh,
Stone.
yeah,
And
that's true.
yeah,
Huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah. So
That's
what we're
awesome.
doing is we're doing psychic readings and card pulls. So if you want a reading, Steve, just let us know. Just type it in caps. Type your question in
Ooh,
caps.
I want to be in Michigan, 74 degrees at 10 o'clock at night. Hello.
Nice.
Nice.
Wow.
Very
Better than
nice.
anywhere else. Wow, cool.
Whereabouts?
I lived in Alpena, Michigan for about 6 months, and we didn't like the rain and the bugs. So we moved back to the dry desert area here
Wow.
in Reno. But yes, lived there for 6 months when I was a kid.
Yeah, I was there for 2 months.
Oh,
In
yeah.
2004, right before I left to move to Europe, and I was in Lansing and then Grand Haven.
Ah. Wow.
Yeah.
And it was, believe it or not, it was a culture shock for me because the people there are like so totally different than New York City, where I
Oh,
grew
yeah.
up,
Mm-hmm.
that you just can't compare the two. It's like a totally different country, totally, because I'm used to a different type of interaction, and I'm not used to people being nice. I'm just not.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not very friendly in New York, I can tell
Oh
you
no,
that.
no,
Yeah.
no.
And I'm from a
Oh,
very
no way.
friendly town, where
Mhm.
Reno, the biggest little city in the world. So we're all very friendly here because of the tourism and the casinos and that kind of stuff. You
Mhm.
got to learn to be good to people visiting your town. So
Right.
it's kind of a shock for me to go back. I went to Rochester, and boy, they were all just like not happy. Don't know
Yeah.
why, but it was a culture shock for me as well.
Yeah,
And
Rochester.
here I'm.
Yeah,
Hi, how you
upstate.
doing? Good to see you. Yada yada. Yeah, that's nice. I'm like, wow, tough crowd. Gosh,
Mhm.
guys, loosen up a little bit.
Check
Yeah.
out Dolly's question.
All right, let's
Interested
do
in
that.
learning?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Alternate lives.
I was talking about this earlier with one of my friends. Past life regression has its place, but I would strongly recommend that you are grounded, centered, balanced in what you're experiencing in life right now. So, like, not starting an additional dumpster fire if your life is not, going well. But it's very liberating. It's like when I was little, I always had a fear of moving garage doors, not the dark, not the boogeyman. I mean, the normal things that kids are afraid of. I didn't face, but moving a garage door. So there was a incident where I had been crushed.
Yeah.
So with that possibility,
You
it's
bring
like,
up an interesting point.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, that's an
What
engram.
Yeah, well, it is an engram, but Dolly, what I would be thinking about is what am I attracted to? What times in history am I attracted to?
sure.
What really interests me? And that's a good indication of where you may have had past lives. So something that you're drawn to, for example, Teresa and I have a lifetime on the Titanic, and I was, as a kid, just fascinated with the Titanic, anything about it, or Egypt, got a past life in Egypt. You know, whatever you're drawn to and anything that's interesting to you is probably a good indication that you've spent time in that time period. So
Yeah, and
that's a good way to do it.
it's usually going to be an attraction that's like not typical for somebody of your cultural background, or you know, like for example, if you have an unnatural desire to sleep on a bed of nails, you know, that's uncommon.
Yeah.
Which means you may have been a yogi in a previous life.
Or
may
you
have been-
were in the circus.
or in a circus, or some.
Yeah.
You know, see, the fact that a lot of people are exploring like gender changes or whatever goes to show that what they're really interested in is interested in uncovering some of these past lives which may have taken place in a different gender. You know, in my case, most of my past lives, I've been regressed by a professional psychologist, have been in the male gender. Most of my past lives have been male, even though there was one that was not, that I remember. You know, and that holds true for a lot of us that have been regressed.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
we've all been both, some more than others. Sometimes you have to come and balance them out. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
That's a rabbit hole and a half. We could be here. Oh, it's a good topic, though.
Truth Seekers asking, does past life regression help you get over irrational fears? Yes.
I think so. Yes.
You face
Yes.
fear. Once you
Yes, it
face the
does.
fear, it can't harm you anymore. Yeah.
Yep.
See, I had an irrational fear of dogs, all dogs.
Wow.
And without even going into that as like something I wanted to address, it just dropped away. It just stopped without me
Lost
even
its power.
noticing it. Yeah. So nowadays, even if you know, somebody's dog starts barking at me or whatever, I'll be like, whatever. You know, it doesn't faze me at all.
Right. Move past it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yep. And it does carry over. And that's part of what your karmic clearing is learning about your past lives, learning about why you have fears about things, and then facing them head on, facing the challenge for it, understanding it, and then learning how to let it go and not, especially if it's a fear from a past life and it carries over to this one, that means it hasn't been dealt with. So you have another opportunity to deal with it. So
Yeah.
Some
that's
people
a
have
great question.
Some people have an irrational fear of guns or knives, you know, which means that they may have been killed by a gun or a knife in a previous life. Because there's really, you know, no rational reason to be afraid of something like that. It's an inanimate object. Or
I've been stabbed, drowned, shot.
Right. Snakes.
You name it. Yep. Yep. Every way you can die. Dying is easy. Being born, that's the hard part.
I agree.
Cramming yourself into that little tiny body, that's the hard part.
Right.
Death is just a door. You're walking through the door. You're one place, and then the next thing you know, you're in the other place.
Also interesting that you can only be born in one way, but you can die in a million different ways.
Yeah.
I
love that.
Oh, your brain. Do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yep. That was fun. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any more questions? Deep diving into meaning of my passion sounds pleasant enough. Thank you. That's cool. Right on. Well, gosh, I was hoping there'd be a few more questions, but looks like we got, you know,
the important thing is for like the viewing audience to learn how to do this for themselves.
Can we have a group card pull, Lori?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we sure can. But Steve has a question for you, Sophia. Okay. He says, I'm thinking of moving. Will it happen anytime soon?
Okay. So I would say when you're at, this is tarot. It's not Rider Waite, but it's based off of seasons of years. So swords would be spring, wands would be summer, cups would be fall, pentacles would be winter. That's generally how I approach questions like this.
Okay.
Oh boy. And then we have the major arcana. So this is the Wheel of Fortune. The keyword is change. Thinking will it happen anytime soon? When here, let's see if I can hold it straight. When the Wheel of Fortune shows up, what goes up must come down. Everything is cyclical. And this is a trump card, which means something needs to happen. So if I'm asking that question, this card comes forward. It's saying you have to take action to facilitate it sooner versus later for healthy reasons. Like something, the moving topic is coming up because something is not conducive to your highest and best. If this was a mundane card, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whenever, whatever. But when it's a major arcana, this move is a lot more important than what you're putting forward. You need to be in a healthier space. What you got, Delbor?
Well, question about that Wheel of Fortune. Like, how many numbers are there in a roulette wheel? Is it like 30 or 31 or 32?
That's a good question. I don't gamble like that. I
think
don't know.
I don't either.
33, I do believe.
Is it?
33. It's a master.
36.
36. Either way, it relates to like a date. It could relate to a date, like the 1st to the 30th or the 31st of the month.
The Wheel of Fortune is, that's a 10.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 36. I was pretty sure it was 36.
36.
It is 36. Yeah. I live in a casino environment.
Yeah, so
A little bit.
I wasn't born on a crap table, so just because
Yeah.
I'm in Reno doesn't mean that. But some people think that. Anyway.
This is rubber for good luck, everybody. Rubber on the head.
Yeah. Truth Seeker has a similar question. Do you see me moving from where I am currently in the next 2 years or so?
Someone else want to take that one, or you want me to do it?
How about you, Teresa? Why don't you tap in?
Sure.
Well, the message I've been getting on everybody. There's so many people that have the same question, including my own self. Things right now are up in the air. And
Interesting.
I don't believe,
considering...
let me, Dalbor, hang on. Things are up in the air right now with so many people trying to do this that the messages I've been getting and the downloads I've been getting from my guides is anything's possible. However, go with the flow, because we just went through the split of the two different impulses, the two different energies, and there's all kinds of things going on in different countries and in different places. And so travel, new home purchases, land sales, it's all up in the air. So anything could happen. And so the message I keep getting is go with the flow. Don't try to pin it down, have a crystal ball and say, will this happen on this date and on this time? I know it sounds like a cop-out, but I'm just being truthful with you because I've been wanting to know too. And it just keeps coming back with it depends on which way the wind blows in the current of what's currently going on, because this is our time for these things to be happening right now. And just will come at just the important thing here is that it will happen. It'll happen eventually because you're willing. When it's supposed to happen. When it's supposed to happen. Thank you. Thank you, Lord.
Please, Dalbor. What did you get?
No, nothing. I just drew these two.
Okay. What is EU?
You know what that means.
I don't.
It's politics.
Oh.
No, well, EU. I mean, it could mean it most likely refers to moving to Europe, right? As in the EU. But EU is also the Spanish word for United States.
Estados Unidos. Yes.
Estados Unidos. Exactly.
Wow.
Grandpa Brian has something? Jeannie said Grandpa Brian has something. Did you want to say something, Brian?
No. I didn't draw a card or anything like that.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. Well, kind of a laid back night. Thanks everybody for being here. I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night, and hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I know, Teresa, that you have something you'd like to share, and I'll allow you to do that right now if you would. Kind of update us and do the housekeeping. Some updates and housekeeping. got
Yes,
something
yes,
going
yes.
on you'd like to
Well,
share
yeah,
with people?
two things.
Okay.
First of all, I saw Sophia put her hand up, and I'm not sure if she was just
Oh.
saying, yo, what's up, or if she wanted to ask something. You cool?
No, I was waving to Steve in the chat because he validated my message. I appreciate
awesome.
the validation.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
nice.
All right. Okay, so Lori wanted to
Mhm.
change things up and do something really fun. So she's come up with an idea for us. Instead of a regular show topic next week, we're going to do something different. And so stay tuned for some announcements on that. It's going to be fun. We're going to play a spiritual game. And I'm not going to give you any more information than that because I don't want to spoil it. And we have to talk about it some more. But there's something we're going to do with the panel. You got
I bet
ready?
you do, Dalibor.
Oh, yeah.
So,
all right, cool.
So, but it has to do with your intuition, and it's going to give you all a chance to do some things interactively in the chat.
Practice your intuition, yes.
Practice your intuition, and so get the word out. Tell your friends. Tell people. We're just going to have a little bit of fun next week.
Clothing is optional. Just don't go on camera.
Clothing is optional.
That's after the show. That's after the show.
After the show. You're welcome, Truth Seeker. You're welcome. All right, so I wanted to do a quick share screen, just very quick, because Karen put something up she wanted everybody to see.
There you go.
You got it on there already. So what do I do? Just click on it? Well, let's see. I have to go to it. All right, there we go. Now I take control. Here we go.
Love you, Scotty boy. Love your sense of humor.
Okay, so remember last week, or the last 2 weeks ago, we talked about a new program coming up on the Crystal Education Network website. And it's called the Digging Deeper webcast. It's going to be in a show that happens every now and then, whether it be monthly or bi-monthly or whatever. It's called Digging Deeper, and it's discussing spiritual, biological, alchemical, physics, other sciences pertaining to current developments impacting our planet's cultural growth and evolution. This program hopes to increase awareness by providing viewers and participants with vetted research, experiments, educational materials, and commentary. So if you go to the homepage, you'll see who the panel is for this first part, 1 and 2, Transhuman and Synthetic Biology series, starting with nanoscience technology and synthetics and Morgellons. So Marsha Price will be coming on. We'll be interviewing her on this particular show. And if you click on go to webpage, you'll get a little bit more detail. And if you scroll down, it'll give you some data and some information and some links to take a look at. These are Facebook links. So if you have access to Facebook, you'll see some 5-minute and 30-minute video content to get you prepped for it. And in the first segment will be posted here for you to click on sometime during the last week of April. So, stay tuned. It's coming up. Max Vision's going to host it on his server. We're going to give us a recording, and we're going to upload it here to the website. And that's what we're going to do with this series of webcasts. They're uncensored, and they're for people, truth seekers, and people who are into research that want to know more about the science behind certain things that are going on in current events that are happening around the world and how they're affecting our ascension and the planet's ascension and growth. So there you go. Let me get out of there, Lori, and stop sharing.
You got it. All right.
Thanks for letting us show it.
But
Karen's still in Egypt, so she was uploading that from Egypt, and she's hoping to get some videos into us too.
Awesome.
Before the end of her trip. Yeah.
So. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody on the panel. Teresa, thank you so much for all you do for A7. Sophia, thank you so much for being here. You are a pleasure to be with. Grandpa Brian, love you too, brother. Thanks for being here. And Mr. Dalibor Suki. Love you, brother. Thanks for being here as well.
Pleasure being here.
Good. We'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful weekend, and hope the weather holds out for you all. All right. Peace and love, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.